As Mayor of Memphis, I'd like to call the meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call, please.
Davis.
Here.
Mulsine.
Here.
Schneider.
Here.
Weaver.
Here.
Wilson.
Here.
Zukasar. Zukas W. absent.
Motion to excuse the absence of Zukas.
Support.
Mulsine.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
Wilson. Zukasar.
Yes.
Zukas W. absent. Davis.
Yes.
Non-agenda items and sidelines. I didn't have any comments from city administration. Donna?
No.
Nothing?
No.
You sure? Chief?
I've got nothing.
Nothing? Todd? Mark?
No, I believe it's going to be on the agenda.
Okay. You have anything?
Yes, assessment change notices, I apologize, have been delayed, have been having some difficulties. I do expect that they will be out and in the mail on Saturday.
Okay.
So I will also, from that, add an additional session to be named later, so that anybody that had felt that they weren't given enough time with the opportunity will have that opportunity with plenty of time under the statute.
You mean an additional board of review session?
Board of review session,
Okay.
probably at least a week later than the one we currently have scheduled. But I'll come back to that so that everybody has an opportunity. And then if there's any cost overruns out of that, it'll come out of my budget.
So you'll have them sent out by Saturday.
They'll be going out
and
Saturday.
If they go out here, everybody should get them by Monday.
Well, yeah, definitely, by Monday, yeah.
So, all right. Anything else?
No, thank you.
Okay. What are the dates of the board of review so everybody can?
The Board of Review will meet on Monday during the day as well as in the evening hours. They'll also meet on Tuesday in the evening from 6 to 9 o'clock. They'll meet also on Friday of next week
Okay.
from 6 to 9 o'clock. And then we're looking to add an additional time if necessary. We'll make that available for appeals. And also, it gives us a little bit of a gap, so if there's any errors or anything that's brought to our attention, we can still make corrections.
All right.
Hello?
Hey Jamie, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
I've got people asking me, like, if they come to make an appeal, like, what kind of support should they bring for their appeal? I mean, like, what can they prove to you or to anybody or the board that their assessment is not fair compared to other people?
That's
What,
great.
I mean, they don't want to just walk in and say, I think we're overassessed.
That's a great question. In almost every case, we're looking at sales comparables. We're looking at comparable sales of properties. Often people will bring in a mortgage appraisal or some appraisal for financing purposes.
Refinancing? line?
Refinancing, we'll take that into consideration. Often those are at the lender's requirements, and they tend to be a little bit more conservative than a fee simple appraisal. But they're another indication of value, and they're certainly valid for the board to take into consideration. Many people will want to come in because there's unusual circumstances with their property in terms of maintenance or problems with neighboring properties that detract from the value of their property. So it's not just limited to sales comparables. People may have legitimate concerns, and I certainly encourage them to bring them to the Board of Review if they want to discuss them. And certainly the ladies in the office have been very helpful in giving my number out. They can always call me, and I can try to call them and meet with them as necessary. So I'll be very active through the Board of Review in this period.
Board of review is also where they come if they like a poverty exemption? Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay.
If they meet the poverty requirements and they're under the poverty level, that is a
And
consideration.
what do they bring to show that?
It's actually in the application.
Okay.
I finally updated that for our clerk.
Who updated it?
Well, I updated it to get it to her, the application.
You emailed me.
We
So-
emailed her the updated one, so
Okay. Anything else?
When you're board of review, somebody's looking at, and maybe they're compared foreclosed houses traditionally are lots of times sold lower. So you probably you don't make adjustments for that, you probably evaluate that.
Now, doesn't the state make you not consider foreclosures?
Well, to use a foreclosed sale, we have to verify that we have to have gone through the process of verification with it. Our foreclosures, I'll give you an example. We did have a couple of sales that sold on foreclosure, which people even brought up last year, and then they turned around and they flipped them at a very different profit, $40,000 plus. I think what you have to do is you have to look at everything on a case-by-case basis. There are foreclosed sales that do represent the market.
Because they've been exposed to
because
market
they've
for a
been-
reasonable period of time.
Exactly. It's great to have an appraiser. And it's true, there are,
I guess it all comes down to the definition of market value. What is market value? And that does require that a property be exposed to the market for a reasonable period of time with the buyer and seller both acting knowledgeably of what's going on in the market, and that not having any undue influence on it in any way. Undue influence is like if you require it to be sold in a period of time, like I have to have this house sold in 30 days. If you have that stipulation, then you're not gonna have what's called an arm's length transaction. So,
one of the unusual things about mass appraisal is that we value and trend values from year to year for the purpose of taxation. And we go through a process called state equalization. So we're somewhat handcuffed to the process that the state and county agree to in terms of the changes that we have from year to year. The Board of Review allows people to poke holes in that theory, so to speak, and to use market information as a source of saying, no, I don't agree with you because I've got sales comparables that say different. There's nothing wrong with that. It's two-sided. It's intended as a checks and balances, and we certainly don't take it personally if somebody appeals.
you also consider, say a property's been on the market for 3 years and hasn't sold. That shows that it's the upper end of the market because it's not selling. It's above market value. Do you consider that if somebody were to bring that in?
Not on itself, because it doesn't lead me to a conclusion of value.
Okay.
But if we look at over the past 2 years, the total number of what we consider valid sales, you can count them on your hands. So that is the limited market that we have here, and I've actually had to go to a much broader extent in terms of trying to look at sales within a 10-mile radius of Memphis, and to talk to local realtors. But right now, we're still working within the constraints of the equalization process. Generally speaking, and I won't give specifics at this point in time, values are going down again throughout the community, and we'll see what the repercussions of that are going to be when we finalize our numbers.
And the good news is we don't have an enormously transient community. If you have people that have lived in a house for a significant period of time, their assessed value can actually go down while their taxable value still goes up.
Yeah.
So we might not be hit as bad with the fact that assessed values are dropping on our actual bottom line. Am I correct with that? Do you know?
I think you'll find in most of the communities in Macomb County, and even, I don't know specifically for St. Clair County, but I know that a lot of communities are having slight increases this year. We will be stabilizing this year, so I want you to expect that we will have a decline. You'll have those numbers when it comes to budgeting, but I don't want to comment on what those will be. But we should stabilize with this year, and we should expect that that kind of decline will not continue into the future if the market conditions stay the same as they are now.
We're gonna get a factor this year?
Pardon me?
Are we gonna get a factor this year?
Only if the county disagrees with my doing the right thing.
So it's possible.
It's Well, I, of course not. We will not get a factor.
Okay,
my
that's a good answer. Because that's what they grade you by, right?
Well, I'm going to do what the right answer is that I'm gonna stand behind.
Okay.
And we
Anybody
don't-
else have anything?
We don't have any sinkhole issues or anything due to the river or?
We're working through some of the burdens that we've had in the data processing of the past. There were still some things that even coming through this year, corrections that will be made and will be, again, will be on solid ground after the board review this year.
All right, anybody else have any questions for him? All right, moving on. Adoption or amendment of the agenda.
3 changes, and it's all under new business. Number 4 will be the MDOT Title VI plan. Number 5 would be the resignation of the city health officer, Bill Lintz. Number 6 will be the DPW invoice for agreeably. No further changes, I make a motion to adopt the agenda as amended.
Support.
Schneider,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lukasar,
Yes.
Lucas W. absent, Davis,
Yes.
Hassan.
Yes.
All right, hopefully you all had a chance to go over the regular meeting minutes of February 19th, 2003. If there's no questions or changes, I'd entertain a motion to accept those.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Support.
Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lukasar,
Yes.
Lucas W. absent, Davis,
Yes.
Hassan,
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Presentation and approval of February receipts report for $178,505.97, February disbursements reports for $277,322.34, and electronic wire transfers of $6,453.75. Hopefully you've all had a chance to look them over. If there's no questions or comments, I'd entertain a motion to accept them and pay the bills.
I'll make that motion. Four.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lukasar,
Yes.
Lucas W. absent, Davis,
Yes.
Hassan,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
All I can say is if you live in Macomb County, go to the DIA because you're paying for it.
Yeah. you are. And the zoo too? Are you paying for the zoo too?
Yes,
Yeah.
Not in sync or no?
Macomb County.
Macomb County, go to the zoo.
We've been paying for the zoo.
Yeah.
All right, communications, there were none, unfinished business. Number 1, Councilmember Larry Wilson concerning the community elevator.
I'm gonna just combine both of those together, actually, 'cause I-
And DPW, community elevator. Those are 2.
Robbie?
Well, we'll combine them.
Okay.
We had, because the memo happens to predate the meeting we had. Both Bart and I have been investigating the use of the elevator and it can be used. And we had meetings with the contractor and also the building inspector. How the elevator was designed was custom made, and it is not adaptable, it cannot be modified in any way to use how it's made, because that one top door swings the wrong way. And I think I've mentioned this before, that people entering or leaving in a wheelchair will be too close to the staircase and will actually only be a few inches from it. And we can't modify it and actually have it pass a state inspection, because how all doors interlocked. When one's locked, the other one can't be opened and vice versa. So that was out of the question there. And also the building inspector, if we didn't modify it, we did talk to the building inspector if there was some way we could put a railing out so far, but we can't do that either, because then it restricts the flow of people coming in and out too much. In other words, it narrows the staircase beyond the specifications. So frankly, it just cannot be used. So, and I did have a meeting with all the committee too. So what our recommendations are, and the contractor will remove it with the conversations that Bart's had with him at no cost. So the recommendations are that we remove the elevator at no cost, we sell the batteries, we're not so sure how much we can get for them yet, but we do sell those. Also, we refund the donated money that we paid for the batteries to the various organizations that donated that money, which I do have a list of that. So, and then we're going to be exploring the possibility of maybe installing a commercial lift, either through a grant or a future budget. And I think Eric's kind of working on that at this point. Once the elevator is removed, and this is Bart's suggestion, that space probably could be used for storage by putting the doors on, so it won't be wasted. It's unfortunate there wasn't a little bit more investigation done ahead of that elevator, because there's been a lot of volunteer work done with various modifications to where it went in, plus picking up, plus moving it. As Eric knows, that thing is very heavy. So,
There's been a lot of time spent on this,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, I think we're at a point where we're stuck in the mud and spinning our wheels.
yeah, so
It's good to back it out and look at other options.
So that's the DPW's recommendation after we had a meeting. So is there any other questions anyone would like to ask?
Well, Larry, are we required, due to the handicap rules, to do this? I mean, regardless, we have to do something?
No,
It was
not,
grandfathered in. We didn't have to
No.
do this, but it was donated, and the labor was donated.
Yeah.
Al Harrell was gracious enough to do this, and he knew how to install the elevator. He knew how to do everything. This unfortunate passing has made us, put us in a place where we really can't get it done, and it wouldn't have worked in the first place.
no, and
So-
it really can't be modified. And I guess, but I think when there was four of us picked it up, Eric and Allie and his brother-in-law and myself, and at that point the door was off, and I guess no one did the proper, unfortunately, didn't do the proper investigation to see if it worked in there. So unfortunately, it can't be done. So this is our suggestions what to do at this time.
Anybody have any questions? Can we get a motion to proceed with this plan?
Okay, I'll make a motion that we first move the elevator at no cost, we sell the batteries, and we refund the donated money of $541.
Or
Sukasar.
Yes.
Lucas W. absent. Davis.
Yes.
Mulsanne.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna skip the second one because we've combined all those. New business, assessing department, wages for board of review. I don't think we want to talk to the assessor anymore. What do you have? What do you have for us, Jamie? Keep it quick.
we want to break it down so that we're paying people more equitably to the meetings that they attend. In the past, they've been paid in a lump sum if they're participating, regardless of the number of meetings that they come to.
Right.
And in this particular case, such as I proposed, if we add an additional day, they'd be paid in accordance with the schedule.
And that would be an additional $24.
There would be an additional $24, and that would come out of my budget. So whether that comes out of my
Normally, they get $150 a year,
yes,
flat fee. And he's saying, and we probably should have done this years ago because of the fact that the last 3 years, they've had to work a lot of additional hours to try to correct the problems that we have had. So we are going to have an extra meeting this year. It would cost us another $100, basically, or
no, 3 people.
3 people, so it's another $75. Anybody have any questions about this?
I'll make a motion to adopt new fee schedule for the board review.
Support.
And I'd like to thank those people for donating their time, because for $24 to spend a day here is a donation of your time.
Lucas W. absent. Davis.
Yes.
Mulsanne.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Sukasar.
Yes.
All right, fire department. Medical first responder class for Josh Stocks.
That's correct. My command staff made a recommendation that we extend Joshua Stocks to the medical first responder class. He is in need of a state license to respond to medical emergencies on our department. So we'd like council to approve class for Richmond Lennox EMS,
And it's in the budget?
and it's in my budget.
All right. Anybody have a question?
Is he days? Is he gonna work days?
He should have it.
Can we get a motion?
I make a motion, we allow the fire department to spend $650 out of their budget to send Josh Stocks to medical first responder school.
Support. Thank you, Council.
No worries.
Davis,
Yes.
Hassan,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson, Lucas R.
Yes.
Lucas W. Anderson.
Okay, moving on, police department, IT right technical support.
I recently had a few computer issues. And I had gotten 3 different quotes for a server as well as virus protection.
Wow.
Backup for the server and all of our computers, including the 2 laptops and the card. IT Right is a company that City Hall recently used for their server, and their prices as well as their annual fee and customer service is not comparable to the other 2.
What's the total cost are we talking about?
For the server itself, it's a one-time fee of
About $1,500, $1,485.
$1,500. And then annually, it'll be $2,850, that I can divide up half between salvage and half of operating.
So what are, and then I noticed there's, we just got this tonight, but I noticed there's 380 and there's another one. So are these to be added together or what is?
Yes, the total for the annual fee would be $2,850.
2,850?
Now, you said for backup too, do they remote backup? This is,
Yes.
backs up all your stuff to a remote site, how often? Every day?
And they also monitor that. We do have an option to do on-site backup. It does only save $200.
No, I like having off-site, so if the building burns, concrete block building, if it burns, you can get everything back.
Right.
Okay, just so we understand all the bills you got in here. You got a 1485,
That's just for the server.
right, and then the next bill's 380. Then you got Circle 2000, annual contract. And what's this 3539.90?
That's another company.
Okay.
That's just showing the different prices.
And then the one at the very bottom, 5857, that's another company too?
Correct.
Okay, so what are you actually asking for?
To go with IT right.
850.
2850.
Plus the 1485 one-time
One time.
setup? Okay, so we're talking, we have to have those two, 2850.
And that can be halved between regular and salvage.
Yes.
And this is all in the budget?
For this current year, we have money remaining for it, yes,
And then you'll budget
for next year.
for next year?
All right, guys, what do you think? IT Right did a great job here at City Hall. They came in, I believe they worked several extra hours or extra day or extra time. They were on the phone with you for quite a bit, and they're willing to jump through hoops to make things happen. So I think they'd be good to deal with.
Any questions?
Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion. It's 4235 total, right?
43,
4330.
43 is.
4335. To spend 4335 for computers for the police department and to be taken from salvage and the budget.
I'll support it.
It's a budget this year and what we're gonna vote on in a few months.
Yeah, we'll have to budget it in the next budget year for the annual maintenance cost.
Right, okay.
Hassan,
Okay, yes.
Schneider. Weaver.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Zucasar.
Yes.
Zucas W. absent. Davis.
Yes.
All right. Next is the Michigan Department of Transportation Title VI plan. About 2 meetings ago, we talked about having a plan for handicap. It's a Title VI plan for this.
Title VI plan, non-discrimination plan.
Non-discrimination plan. We have it in place, or had it in place somewhat, but we have to vote on it basically to make sure it's all, we have a vote and
We
everything.
had to have it MDOT approved.
Okay, and it's MDOT approved, so we gotta send it off so we can get the monies for other things.
Federal,
And-
any federal grant monies for the roads, I know.
Right, so basically, we just need a motion to approve the, which you don't have, the MDOT Title VI
Well,
plan.
it's a package that.
Or the
Yeah, here I have it
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, if you wanna see it, if you wanna
It's
read
quite a
through
book
it,
and to save
it's-
paper.
it's basically government red tape, so,
I'll make the motion.
I'll support it.
we just joined Agenda 21.
Schneider.
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Zucasar.
Yes.
Zucas W. absent. Davis.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Let's keep a copy of that in the office for a couple weeks.
Anybody wants to see it?
Yeah.
All right, next, our Health and Safety Officer, William Lentz, gave us a letter that said effective as of this date, which was March 4th, I resigned the position of Health and Safety Officer for the City of Memphis. William Lentz. I'd like to, I guess, first, do we have to accept his resignation under motion?
Yeah, we do. I want to thank him for
Yeah.
serving
He-
for so long.
For so long, I mean, I
Yeah,
think
so,
longer than I've been here.
yeah, he's been on there a long time. And so,
And then we need somebody to step into that position. If anybody knows anyone who, if the fire department knows anyone, tell them we need a new health officer for the city.
What's the
I
requirements?
held it for a couple of years.
Did
I
you?
thought I did, yeah.
What's the requirements?
Gotta stay healthy.
There's not a whole.
What is the requirements, do you know? Gotta do jumping jacks?
Mm.
Yeah, we looked
Calisthenics?
it up, but we couldn't find
I
it.
was on it for 2-3 years and never had a phone call regarding it.
Okay, so you wanna, anybody, can I get a motion to make Bart the new health and safety officer?
Yeah. I think we had,
well,
I think there was probably 2 items recently that.
In the last 4 or 5 years.
In the last 4 or 5 years. One was a pool and I forgot what the other one
I
was.
think we got to accept
What are, some of
resignation
the-
of the first one.
What are some of the duties included with the health and safety officer?
I really don't know. I don't know.
Anything to do with health or safety.
But-
You know, a lot of it has to do with
Once
the
he
pet.
found that foreclosure house, they had a pool and the pool was falling apart and nobody was living in it and it still had water in it.
So
That was
we
one
went
of
out
the things
there
they
to
had to go.
confirm that it was unsafe and then
Right.
dealt from
Will that
it.
fall under like abandoned or unsafe housing?
That would fall under blight and all the other stuff too. I mean, that might be the police function, right? I don't wanna do that. Yeah. Building inspector, Spark, DPW?
But, yeah, see.
Okay, well, can we accept, unfortunately, accept Mr. Lentz's resignation? Can I get a motion for that?
I'll make that motion.
Weaver.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Zucasar.
Yes.
Zucas W. absent. Davis.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
No, I would love to just appoint Bart, but I would like to, if anybody's interested in the health officer unpaid position for the city of Memphis, feel free to come in and turn. Is it paid how much?
It is a paid one.
150 a year. It's definitely worth it.
But you get me for nothing
No.
because I can't be paid for
It might
it.
be
Yeah.
75 a year.
75 a
It
year?
used to be
What do you get a
75.
year?
Oh, it's going down.
We just halved your,
It used to be 75.
Okay,
75.
well, let's just stick with 75. It's 75 a year, but if anybody might be interested in getting involved, it might be an easy way to get.
If you want me to appoint me
involved.
tonight and where it's all taken care of, I can't get paid extra anyway.
You'll be okay with that? Can I get a motion to appoint
So
Bart?
moved.
Thanks.
Support.
To simplify it.
Yeah, thanks, Bart.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, we have to vote.
Wilson.
Yes.
Zucasar.
Yes.
Zucas W. absent. Davis.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Weaver.
No, I'm just kidding. Yes.
Did you want that position? don't
Yeah, I
you?
wanted that. Darn it. All right, moving on. Our health officer bought a grater blade.
Yeah, we had some health and safety, you got a grade out.
Now, the DPW got a grader blade. Tell us about this part.
Yeah, I had to get, I ended up buying 3 sets of grater blades for the underbelly on the dump truck. And anyways,
That's what it is, 400.
that's what it's for, doing, yeah.
Were you
It's been
dragging,
like
were you
all-
dragging
been a lot of years
asphalt
since I
pothole
bought that.
pieces along the road? Is that part of the problem?
That's my, yeah, them gators, all those spots that are getting gatored up and the grater blade pull them out.
And those are primary streets. I mean, Pratt, Bell River, both sides of Boardman, which hopefully we're gonna get done in the next 18 months. These are the reasons that we're ending up having to spend more money on equipment, because these roads are in such bad shape. But all we need is a motion to approve the $446 and
Yeah, I really want.
Did you say you got 3 or 6?
it was really kind of an emergency
It's
expense.
3 changes, it takes 2 blades per
Oh.
change, so
That's all right.
I've got 6
Take care.
blades, but
You got this budgeted, Bert?
yeah, it's all
part of your
budgeted,
budget?
there, yeah.
All
it's
part.
budgeted.
I'll make a motion to approve the grader blade purchase of $445.26 from AIS Construction.
Support.
Superstar,
Yes.
Superstar W, absent Davis,
Yes.
Mulsanne,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yep.
Wilson.
Yes.
Moving on to other new business from the mayor. I don't have much. I am going to a focus group for the county for communities that have under 110,000 residents, where Macomb County is asking how we like the services they provide and how could they improve their services to us. Doing that next week. If anybody would like to join me, I'm sure you're more than welcome to come. It's with the Michigan Economic Development. Basically, they want to know how good they're doing. If anybody has anything they'd like me to tell Macomb County about how they're doing, I'd be more than happy to carry it on. So that's next Friday and down in Utica. But that's all I have. Larry, you got anything?
No, nothing.
Robbie,
No, I'm not.
you got anything?
Today.
Got it?
Nope. Nope.
Eric?
Just real quick, Thursday, Anita and Frank Levinsky from the Historical Society and myself went to a little workshop with Department of Agriculture about rural development, loans and grants. There's a couple things we're looking at. I brought some information back from the police chief, and we're gonna meet with somebody next week from there, and we'll see what happens. You never know. Hopefully we can get some money for the lift over at the library and community center. And who knows? See what we can wring out of them.
Sounds good. I'm
That's
all
all I
for it.
have. Motion to adjourn.
Thank you.